Hello, today I'm making calzone, which is basically a folded pizza. So if you like pizza and you like pasties, then this recipe is definitely for you. Keep watching. I'm going to start with the pizza dough. You can either use two of these 145 gram packets of pizza dough to serve 4 people, or you can make dough in your bread maker or make it from scratch, whatever you like. So once you've made your dough, split it into 4 pieces, roll it into balls, and then roll the dough out so it's roughly this size. So that's just a little bit smaller than a dinner plate. So that's all the dough done. I've got 4 circles and they're just stacked up with the baking paper in between. The oven's on to 220°C, that's gas mark 7. So I just put those on top of the oven just to keep a bit warm while we prepare the filling. So first thing is 1 red onion. Just gonna peel it, cut it in half and then slice it. Next I'm gonna slice up a red pepper. I love red pepper in calzone because it just gives a really nice sweet flavour. And it's got loads of vitamins as well. Just slice it up like this. I've got 150 grams of mushrooms, which I'm just going to slice up really roughly like this. And I've also got 150 grams of cherry tomatoes, which I'm just going to cut in half like this. I think they work much better than tin tomatoes or passata or anything like that, because you need to keep your filling of your calzone quite dry and not too soggy. I've got some cheese here. I've got 2 different types of cheese to put inside my calzone. I've got some half fat mozzarella. So this really keeps the calories down, but it gives that nice stringiness that you would get from a pizza. I'm just going to slice that up quite roughly like that. You can use full fat mozzarella if you are not being good. The only thing with mozzarella is that it doesn't have a great deal of flavour. So I've got here, so that's 150 grams of mozzarella. I've got 60 grams of mature cheddar cheese, and I'm just going to cut that into slices as well. Here I have 400 grams of turkey steaks. You don't have to use turkey, but we love turkey in our house because it's really good for you. So I want to show you how to cut turkey to keep it as tender as possible. So you see the grain of the meat runs in this direction. You need to cut against the grain in this direction. Just cut it into strips, about 1 centimetre wide. So now I'm going to make the filling for the calzone. We're going to cook all the ingredients and then shove it in our dough and fold it over. So I've got 2 tablespoons of olive oil in the frying pan. So first thing, the onion. Cook that for about 3 or 4 minutes until it's soft. Now I'm going to add the turkey and stir fry that until it's browned for about 4 minutes. Okay, so now the turkey's brown, I'm just going to put all the other ingredients in. So the tomatoes, and the red pepper, and the mushrooms, and I'm also going to add some seasoning. So I'm going to start with some tomato puree, just 1.5 tablespoons. So it's quite a dry tomato sauce, obviously, because otherwise it will make the dough very soggy. So tomato puree. Now for some herbs. I've got some Italian seasoning, dried, just about 1.5 teaspoons, and some smoked paprika, which is a really important ingredient. It's not too spicy, about a teaspoon, level teaspoon. Just brings such a nice smoky flavour. So 4 cloves of garlic, but I'm cheating because I've got the Gourmet Garden garlic in a tube, and 1 teaspoon is the equivalent to 1 clove, and it does taste as good as fresh. And also some chilli, if it's for grown-ups, just a teaspoon roughly, which is about half a fresh chilli. So now I'm going to turn the heat up nice and high, and you just want to stir this for about 3 or 4 minutes, and so it doesn't stick. But what you're trying to achieve is a nice dry mixture. You don't want any wet juice in the bottom. You want all that rich, juicy tomato-ness to reduce a bit, so your dough won't get soggy. Now my pan is a bit small, the wrong choice, but hopefully it will work. So that's what you're aiming for, basically. And finally, I'm going to just turn off the heat now. I'm going to stir in some basil. I've got the Gourmet Garden basil because I'm cheating, but about a tablespoon of chopped fresh basil will be lovely, but this does actually taste the same. So stir that through, and now we're ready to build our calzone. So one pizza base here, and then just pour on a really small amount of olive oil and brush it all over, but not the edges, because that's where you're going to press it and it's going to seal, and the oil will prevent that. This is so the oil kind of acts as a barrier, so the topping, the filling, won't make the calzone soggy at all, the dough. Okay, oil, and then you spoon on about a quarter of your filling onto just one side. Probably just a bit too much. So just one side, it's a bit hot. And then some cheese, mozzarella cheese, about a quarter of your cheese, and some of your mature cheddar. Now this is why I like to use the baking paper underneath the dough. So you pop your hand underneath the filling free half of the calzone and simply fold the dough over. Now carefully peel back the baking paper, and there is your almost ready for the oven calzone. Now just where the edges are, just pinch them just by pressing it with your thumb or your finger, and then in theory that should be fine and bake fine in the oven and not split and spill out. But just to make sure, I just like to fold over the dough, the edge of the dough, and just pinch it again, just to make sure nothing is going to escape. Make a couple of slits in the top, 2 or 3, just so the steam escapes, and put it in the oven for 20 minutes. Here's my calzone fresh out of the oven. They smell really good, so I just want to cut one of them open to show you. I'm just going to cut one open so you can see inside. I'm going to use my tea towels, it's probably going to be quite hot. I love how the cheese squidges out of the side. So that's how to make a really easy turkey calzone under 600 calories, and it takes no more than 45 minutes, including the time in the oven. If you would like the full recipe details of this and other easy family recipes on a budget, please visit my website gourmetmum.tv. Thank you for watching. Bye!